Hi, everybody. Welcome to Moondog's TMI Live. Too much information with Moondog. And we are broadcasting live from evic.com. That's the nation's largest airsoft superstore, airsoft and tactical gear, as well as fishing gear, if you didn't know. And we are here at their superstore in Los Angeles live. Just let me know on the side chat if we're coming through okay, since this is a total new experience for me in terms of broadcasting live from my not usual studio location, and I'm not 100% sure how well my sound as well as the bit rate is coming through. Um, it's all up in the air. There we go. Krabby Turtle says 5x5, so that's good. TJ Fishing says let me bring that up. TJ, why isn't that clicking? There we go. TJ says, "G'day, mate, loud and clear." Laggy in terms of when I'm clicking on the side chat for whatever reason. There we go. Feed is low res, sound is okay. So I was a little concerned about because I'm using the store Wi-Fi, so it's probably a fairly low transfer rate. So it's probably going to be low res looking, unfortunately. I might go back and re-upload a high res version of this. But for those of you who are on live, well, we're just going to go with the low res. Now, 24p. Oh, wow, that is low res. Okay, well, it is what it is. We're going to be running the regular show. And as we get started, I just want to call out this episode's sponsor, which is, and also kind of slow to load up, Aura.com. They are my sponsor today, and they are an online cybersecurity company that I use to help protect me when I'm traveling like this online. Using Wi-Fi that isn't mine, so I don't know exactly who's set it up and who's running the security on it. It's good to have a VPN, and of course, Aura offers you a VPN as well as a whole wealth of other services, including spam blockers, fraud alerts, credit monitoring, and most importantly to me, data broker removal service. Now, they bundle all this into a low monthly fee, but you get a chance to try them out for free. Using my link, aura.com/moondog. Use my link, try them out for 14 days. You can make use of all of those services, especially including the data removal service. So have them get your information off the web from these companies that buy your information. Get it done for free. Try them out. aura.com/moondog. You got the QR code. There we go. QR code right over there. Okay. Now, this taking a little long to load up the next screen, but let's see if it's any easier. It comes out if I remove it. Yep, it took like 5 seconds for it to show up. So this is your early bird clue to those of you who are watching this. You get a day, and I'm sorry it's coming up choppy. I'm wondering if I take off. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm on any other of the connections from a Wi-Fi standpoint. So put in, if you know who this brand, put in a hashtag and the name of the brand on the side chat, and you'll be entered into the contest. We got 3 winners to be getting. Oh, you know what? Hold up there. I forgot to set up the giveaway tool. So let me do that right now. And those of you who've already put your hashtag in, hold up. We're going to have to do it again as soon as this starts up. So anybody who's put in the hashtag and the name of the brand before, please put it up now. It should be collecting. In fact, let me just double check that it is collecting. Yes, so we do have already 1 entry. So thanks for that. Okay, let's move on. I want to show you my new videos. So on my Moondog Go channel, I posted up a video review of these new high quality scope mounts. This is a cantilever mount that's come out from Discovery Optics, and it is not only built very well, but probably some of the nicest shims I've ever seen included with a scope mount. Now, these shims allow you to adapt it. The rings themselves are made for 34 millimeter tubes, but add the shims on the inside and you can attach a 30 millimeter tube. And I've always been a little, most of the times you've seen those, there's these hard plastic shims, and half the time I'm never quite sure that they will provide a really good clamping power to the scope that I'm on with those plastic shims. But these ones, they are really nicely milled. I I totally believe that they would hold up and hold zero even with a high caliber rifle. But here, take
optics cantilever mounts, and these are their GCM series because they come with adapters. The rings themselves are sized at 34 millimeters, but they come with adapters to size them down for 30 millimeter tubes. Now, what makes these special is that these are actually made from 6061 aluminum as well, and they come pre-lapped on the inside. The ones I've seen from other mount makers, they're usually either plastic or they are also aluminum, but none of them I've ever seen come pre-lapped on the inside, pre-surfaced. That is just a level of detail and quality I have not seen, so that is really nice. But let's take a look at these mounts. These are nicely milled, nicely designed. They come with lightning cuts. That means that they've milled out sections of the metal to lighten them. And you can see that in the base as well as the ring.
So hopefully you got a chance to see a little bit of that. I'm sorry that this is coming in choppy and low res, but I invite you, of course, to watch them on my Moondog 2A channel for a really good high quality image of these mounts and shims. And I just saw that Hillbilly joined us. So, hey, welcome to Hillbilly. Thanks for joining us. And hopefully you can see and hear fairly well. I'm in the Wi-Fi network that I'm on here at EVIC isn't terribly high speed, so it's coming in low res right now. All right, getting back on the slides to the stage. And I also on Moondog Doe channel, I posted up a detailed review of rather uh, rather affordable set. It feels like it, doesn't it?
The Phoenix brand, there's a
Sorry, hit the wrong
Using
video.
firearms, but they can be awkward to wear. Now, we have something small. For many, electronic is a league standard for protecting your hearing when using firearms, but they can be awkward to wear. Now, we have something smaller. These are ProHear Bluetooth electronic earbuds. But can they protect your hearing just as well as full-sized external headphones? We're going to test them and find out. I tested the earbuds at the gun range firing 5.56 through my rifle, and one of the things I noticed is I could really get a tight cheek weld. I didn't have to worry about external earmuffs bumping up against my rifle stock while I was firing, though I did notice that the rifle sounded just a little bit louder than when I was wearing my earmuffs, but that could just be me. For many,
So actually, it isn't just me. A couple of other people have chimed in about earbuds, and the consensus seems to be that our the cartilage on the outside of our ears picks up sounds as well as our ear canal, and it transfers it like bone conducting headphones into our inner ear. That's where we actually hear things, and your earmuffs, like these headsets here. Now, that's the one thing that I found to be a little disconcerting. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a hearing specialist, so I don't know if since you are kind of perceiving that you're hearing noises more loudly with the earbuds on than with earmuffs, whether or not you're still susceptible to hearing damage or not. I don't know. If you happen to be a hearing specialist, ear, eye, nose, throat kind of guy, let us know. Leave a comment or post me links to places where we could learn a little bit more of that. Tim, Tim says, I wear earplugs when shooting rifles, and they're great for shooting and sorry, and the load up for this is that he's saying that he's watching from Baldwin Park, California, which isn't very far from here. Is what Abrasive. Okay. So you may have lost me there for a second. Not sure. I just got a little warning that having trouble connecting, and it's from an unstable internet connection. Which again, it is the signal, the Wi-Fi signal here. So sorry, folks. Apologize for the poor quality of the live stream image today.
3R, which is a smaller version of this.
Yes, I reviewed that. I think it was last year, or the year before.
Yep. And so this one is a little bit bigger, a little bit more powerful, up to 700 lumens, and then it also comes with all kinds of different features. So you've got again UV light. And a laser pointer. Your standard white light with modes. And then it's got a big ring light, which is also used as a battery level indicator, but then it also has different features, just kind of like a little fun RGB light, red flashing light, blue flash, and then a red and blue signaling light. So this would also be good to clip onto a pocket just as an identifier, let your people know where you are, signaling, stuff like that.
So that is, I posted up a review of that light. I'm actually working on a full-length review of that particular EDC light, but that is a booth visit at the Phoenix booth at SHOT Show that I posted up this week. So we've got a few more folks joining us. I see a 1957 Porsche Speedster and J Delta. Thanks for joining us today. Sorry for the low quality of the image you're probably seeing. It's because of I'm leeching off of the store Wi-Fi. The customer Wi-Fi here at evic.com. I'm broadcasting to you guys live from Los Angeles, specifically Alhambra, California, just a little bit east of downtown Los Angeles at the evic Superstore. So if you have any questions about evic, I'm actually going to be giving a little bit of a tour in a bit, but I also wanted to point out the video series that I've been posting up on my Moondog Go travel channel is of my visit to Universal Hollywood, and they have a new attraction there called the Kung Fu Panda Adventure, which is a 4D experience where you go in there. They integrate the theater that you go into to the show, and you can get a little taste of it here. Once you go in, there is a more than a widescreen experience when you go into the actual theater.
You. Oh, you're such a good son. Oh, hey, you there, Mr. Butterfingers. Be careful with that. Hang on, everybody. This should be quite a ride. Imperial Palace, here we come. This is so exciting. Oh, watch her going. We're pretty low.
So in your seat, the seat is actually moving and rumbling and moving while you're watching this. It does give you a little bit of
It's like the river just ends up ahead. Let me see this. According to the map, it's a waterfall. The bridge isn't finished yet. There they are. The bridge is out.
So I'm just giving you a little bit of a taste of the longer video, so you can watch it yourself on youtube.com/@MoondogGo, and it is a very fun and included with your admission to Universal in Hollywood. You could potentially get seasick because you're watching this in the theater, and the seat is moving around kind of like a miniature motion simulator. So it's a fun experience. All right, so on this part of the show, I'm going to be asking you to help me with the thumbnail for an upcoming video, and this is for a portable AC/DC air compressor from a company called the DD Yeah, that is the name of the company, DD I'm sure they've gotten quite a few comments about that it causing uncontrollable giggles and chortles from the juvenile among us. But it is actually a very good working compressor, relatively light, though not super light. I mean, weighs about 20 pounds. But if you've ever had a high power compressor, they generally weigh a little bit more than that. And this one is relatively quiet for even an electrical compressor, and especially for if you're running a gas powered compressor. But this will compress air it was originally made for scuba tanks, but it can also compress air for PCP rifles and PCP pistols. So if you have an idea for what would be a good headline, or at least a better headline than 12 volt 110/220 air compressor, please feel free to write something in the side chat right now. The other thing about this is that it can run off of a 12 volt battery, and we test this in the review video that I posted. We clamped it onto the car battery of my friend's truck, and we were able to run the compressor. Now, the trade-off of it being fairly light and fairly quiet for a high pressure air compressor was that it wasn't terribly fast in terms of the amount of air that it could fill a tank with. We were able to fill a small pony bottle in about 15 minutes. I forget how many pounds I think we were able to get to 1500 psi. And for a larger airsoft/paintball tank, I'm guessing it's probably going to be closer to 20 or maybe half an hour. But if you have the time and you just need to top off, or you just need to top off your tank somewhere, and you don't want to be carrying or anything too large or heavy, then this is a great affordable air compressor. There's a great headline from TJ. He says, "Air compress that impress." Yeah, thanks. I'm going to screenshot this. Thanks, TJ. And if you guys have any other suggestions, please feel free to add it to the side chat. So here's the next clue in the Name the Brand contest. This brand is a German manufacturer of air guns, tear gas, rimfire firearms, signal pistols. Didn't even think about that. Signal pistols, paintball markers, and airsoft guns. It is based in Arnsburg, North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany. So if you know this German air gun brand, that is the mystery brand. Put it in hashtag and their name in the side chat. Here's a headline suggestion from Tim Mooney. DD Poo is good for you. Okay. Well, I don't know if I'll be using that one, but I appreciate the humor there, Tim. Okay, so get in your hashtags for the drawing. I'll be giving away 3 of these patches from EVIC, along with an EVIC decal today. I might even do 4 if we get more than 6 people in the drawing. Let me see how many. We have 3 entries so far. So yeah, you're gonna right now 100% for sure. If you put in the correct name brand on the side chat, you will get a patch. And if we get more than 3, how about that? If we get more than 3, I'll bring this up, the number of winners up. Tim Mooney says, Walther is owned by Umarex. This is true. So that's Walther Firearms, by the way. All right, down the rabbit hole. So what were you talking about today? Guess what? We're going to be talking about airsoft. And airsoft, for those of you who don't know, is the world's most popular shooting combat sports. It utilizes mock firearms that fire 6mm plastic BBs that are propelled by compressed air. And that compressed air is either coming from a spring, a pneumatic, piston-driven spring that is either wound using an electric motor, or it comes directly from compressed air in tanks. And it could also come from compressed air in the form of CO2 or liquid propane. Now, EVIC is the nation's largest airsoft gun and gear retailer, and with store locations in Los Angeles, the San Francisco Bay Area, and Texas. And I happen to be in Los Angeles for family reasons, and I contacted my friends here at EVIC because they've been my sponsor for my airsoft events for years, including Operation Bad Blood, which I produced last month. And they were kind enough to let me utilize their whole gaming section for. They also host card game tournaments like Magic the Gathering and other card games. Well, I am situated in their gaming area above their shooting range, which is below us. In fact, I'll give you a tour of the store right now. Here, let me bring you on stage. I'm going to bring you to my side camera here, and hopefully we'll get this going. Okay, and I'm going to bring this up as our main screen. Okay. So folks, let me know if you can hear me. If you can see me. See in the side chat there. Leave me a side chat if you can see and hear me. And 5x5. Okay. Store Wi-Fi. Yes. Okay. So hopefully you can. I'm coming in loud and clear. Okay. We're going to be taking a tour of evic.com. I'm taking you on a walking tour of evic.com. And let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to stop at. Or you want me to get more information about. So here is their whole card game section, and presumably also RPG, D&D you can play up here. They host monthly tournaments here, which I didn't know about since I don't live here, but that's pretty cool. And so I get to play in the gaming area. And behind me here, could you believe it? There's a tank in EVIC. And this is a tank because it's also a saltwater fish tank. But they actually, this is from, they built this in an episode of The Tank Guys. I forget the name of the show. Yeah, they built this custom tank aquarium, and it's practically the size of a small tank, like maybe about the size of a Stewart, perhaps. But it is a pretty cool Tanked. Yes, thank you, Pick. The show is called Tanked, and they built that custom tank, and it's an episode of the show. So if you know a little bit more about that, put it in the side chat right now. But you get a chance to check out this tank over here. And this is they have an indoor shooting range for airsoft. And one of the interesting things is if you would like to try out one of the airsoft guns, they're here and are planning on buying it, or if you bought it and you just want to try it out, you can bring it over here. They have iPro for you to wear, or they also said that if you let's say if you're working on your own airsoft gun in the neighborhood and you're working on your internals and you just want to see how well it's shooting and you can't shoot in your apartment, or your parents will get upset if you're shooting in the backyard, you can come here to do it. And check out the story and handle here. This is an airsoft M4 rifle. All right, and there's nobody here right now, so they said that I could come into the shooting range without iPro because there's nobody actually shooting in the range itself. But they have set up a number of gun power. These are electronic targeting systems And I don't know if you can see here, you can select different kinds of targets. So let's say if you want to just go with a traditional target, it's loading up. And actually, I will go over closer to the target so you can see it. But here you can see my relative size to it. So it is a pretty large screen. And this is touch sensitive. So if you're shooting at this with an airsoft gun or even a Nerf gun, it will register as a target hit. And here it's shooter ready. And to activate it, you could just shoot these things. Okay. Maybe you're not hitting it hard enough, but the controllers are actually back there. Okay, let me go to the controller that's over here. There we go. All right, there we go. I think I just wasn't hitting it hard enough with my finger. But it will actually register where you hit on the electronic target. Oh, yeah, I actually need to shoot it with an airsoft gun, I think. My finger probably isn't hard enough or small enough for it to register. But I've tested this. I've got a review video on my Moondog, I believe on Moondog 2A, as well as Moondog reviews of one of these gun power, the smaller target set, which is, I think, about 24 inches in size. And you can purchase one of these. You can purchase these. They sell them here at EVIC. What's hilarious here is that they have a vending machine that works, actually. If you want to purchase 20.25, 0.23, or 0.22 gram BBs to shoot with, you can do it here in their shooting range, indoor shooting range. And added to their indoor shooting range, they've created a whole new sort of shooting experience here called Level Up. It's an interactive shooting experience here. And I'll be filming here a little bit later. We'll be creating a video of me trying it and shooting it at the Level Up shooting center. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a chance if I could find my cameraman and assistant here, who my friend Steve, who I was a guest in my previous show. He's a celebrity photographer. He's here somewhere in the store, and he was helping me out. And maybe we'll get him to film me while I'm shooting in the Level Up range. But here's an interesting thing. For those of you out there who are into fishing, saltwater fishing or freshwater fishing, did you know this? EVIC has a fishing store inside of their main superstore. So they got all of the high-end fishing gear. I don't even know all the brands other than Shimano. But yeah, if you're into, especially if you're into saltwater fishing, they've got all the gear, lures, reels, of course, rods. Yeah, everything you could want for saltwater or freshwater fly fishing, they got it. This stuff looks pretty sick. So, hey, who knew? Did you guys know that they have fishing gear here? Pretty cool, huh? And of course, they have all of the airsoft and also just real tactical gear that you'd want. A lot of it is crossover, or a lot of it is things you could use for either of them. And of course, airsoft was originally, they were toy guns meant for Asia, where gun laws were even more restrictive than in California, where people, if they wanted to shoot firearms, or own firearms, the only thing they could own are essentially toy guns, but they are to the level of realism that in some cases, some of the furniture that you can put on to a real steel gun, you can attach onto an airsoft gun. That includes grips, shoulder stocks, even hand guards. The only thing it can't shoot is real bullets, but a lot of the other gear is essentially they use real firearms gear. But one of the things that you can also get, and that is sort of across the board, is tactical gear like plate carriers. And of course, a lot of the airsoft guys want the real stuff, and or they shoot the real stuff, and they want to have, they're just going to use their regular gear, and it's for them. It's some, at least for me. Oops, I dropped that. For me, I kind of used it as practice in terms of being able to have a setup with my plate carrier and my pouches. And it's just practice, so I can know where my stuff is. I can easily get to it if I, need to reload or whatnot. So, yeah, I would use my real plate carrier in airsoft. I just wouldn't include the heavy plates inside of it, so I wouldn't have to necessarily carry all that stuff. And Pick says, I bought from them wholesale years ago for a shop, but I can't remember what I bought from them at the time because they didn't sell airsoft at the time. So yeah, there are. I forgot to mention that EVIC is one of the largest tactical gear distributors, as well as selling stuff directly through their online retail store. But yeah, there's just aisles and aisles of stuff here. And this is just like a fraction of the stuff that they have online. So if the stuff that you're seeing here, yeah, it's all available on their online store, but there's even more stuff on their online store. Like this aisle is just for airsoft magazines. Yeah, that you can buy spare magazines for your airsoft guns. So there's just an aisle for that. And of course there are there are all the patches you could buy here, and just walls and walls of airsoft rifles. So here are some of the stuff they have on sale. This is their gas. These are their gas rifles. And these are their some of their specialty rifles, like their sci-fi. Like there's a, I don't know what that is. Probably they're loading stuff in the back. But there's a alien pulse gun from the movie Aliens. There's a pulse rifle there. There's a minigun. There's a Panzerfaust, an airsoft Panzerfaust. Yes, so Tim saw that. Yeah, I think what it is it's a compressed air, kind of like a shotgun effect. So you load up a bunch of BBs in a canister, and it's propelled with propane, with compressed propane. It fills a tank, and then it just releases like a shower of BBs. And the way it fires is you have to take off the front of the Panzerfaust warhead, and then there's basically a tube on the inside, and that's you can't fire it without taking off the front cone. But then it's basically like a big BB shotgun shell or shotgun. And you've got your World War I and World War II airsoft guns over here. So for those of you who are a fan of doing World War II reenactments, well, now you don't have to buy a vintage $1,000 Garand or Mauser. You could buy an airsoft version of that for much cheaper and less likely to be damaged while you're in reenactments, I suppose. They've got PPSH, they've got a M40, German M40, they've got a grease gun, Tommy guns. Gosh, yeah. They've got, I think that's got a Lee Enfield up there. Yeah, Lee Enfield and a Garand. So, yeah, all those. Then they've got bolt guns. So every kind of sniper rifle. And they've even got some lever guns over here, airsoft lever guns. And then you have your shotguns over here. Most of these are pump, but some of them are CO2 or gas powered. You've got your You got your DMR setups over here. It looks like M14s, A10s, Scar Heavies. And then you got your SMGs, some of the SMGs over here, including PCCs, P90s. You got your bullpups, you got your Styrogs, your FAMAS. You got your a British L85, and they even have a Keltec RDB. And then you have your AKs, more PCCs, G36 over there. Yeah, more AKs and ARs over here. Lots and lots of ARs. Lots and lots of ARs. And we haven't even looked at the display cases all along here of pistols and SMGs here. Look, there's even a Star Wars blaster, a Stormtrooper E11 blaster. So if you're doing cosplay and you need props, here you go. For you Revolver fans, there you go. You got your 1911s. You got your, actually these look like replica Rugers, like Mark V's, H. Heckler and Koch, and FN. You got your double stacks, double stack 1911s and 2011s. So yeah, there you go. This place is off the hook. And what's remarkable to me is how quiet it is. But because usually I come here on the weekends, and then weekends it is just packed.
Number 33. Please come to the front. And get number 33.
Yeah, and usually you have to, get a ticket, and you have to wait around and browse around for a good 10, 20 minutes before your number gets called for if you want to buy stuff or look at stuff. But today it's pretty quiet. It's a Wednesday here. And, it's nice to be able to have a live show, a live stream with you in a live location. It's pretty cool. I'm kind of stoked being here myself. So, let's see, our Moondog going to cost me more and more money. It looks like, yeah. Here's another example. If you're needing to get a hydration pack, or a tactical, like an assault pack, yeah, you can get it here. I mean, it's the same hydration pack whether you're playing airsoft or you're hiking or you're getting combat gear. You're gonna want a rugged hydration pack. So that's why they sell them over here. And oh, by the way, you can also get some real steel furniture here as well. As I was mentioning, a lot of airsoft guns originally used real firearms furniture, and it's not entirely one-to-ones. Like there's a lot of airsoft replica furniture, whether it be grips or shoulder stocks or hand guards that are made for airsoft only, or at least were originally designed for airsoft that would require some modification, or in the case of airsoft shoulder stocks, butt stocks, is that they're actually, the diameter of the buffer tube on airsoft guns is actually wider than a real buffer tube because they're meant to accommodate lithium and cell batteries, like C-size batteries. So they're actually a little bit bigger than a real buffer tube. So if you buy sometimes if you are like on a Wish or Temu and you see a cheap Magpul stock, that's way too cheap to be legit. They're an airsoft knockoff of them, and if you buy them, you could fit them onto a real buffer tube, but they might be a little jaggly because they are made for airsoft buffer tubes, which are a little bit wider. It says it's like a millimeter or two wider diameter. And let me know if there's anything specifically you'd like me to look at while I'm here, or if there's any questions you'd like me to ask maybe some of the staff here about airsoft. Feel free to ask on the live stream. Okay, we're in the BB section. You're wondering, of course, you got to shoot BBs. but you're shooting plastic BBs. But they have so many flavors of BBs here. You've got your stealth BBs, as we call them, because they're black. The reason why we call them stealth BBs is I don't know if you've never played airsoft. When you get shot at with regular BBs, they're white. They're typically white, and that has the advantage of you could see them because, to be honest, they're not super accurate, or at least not as accurate as a real bullet or even a real pellet or BB. They're light, relatively light weight wise. Like these ones are, each one of them is 0.28 of a gram. So that means you're basically 4 of them, it weighs as much as a paper clip. And so they're relatively light. They're traveling at fairly high velocity, but because they're so light, they're very susceptible to wind or even blades of grass deflecting them. But that's why when they're white, you can see them actually flying out of your gun, and you can sort of steer your way aiming wise to whatever you're trying to hit. Well, that also means the other person who's getting shot at knows where you can see the BBs flying at them. So that's the reason why some guys shoot with black BBs, because they're nearly invisible in the air, and so that doesn't give away your position as much as a white BB. But also, these ones are tracer BBs, which means that they glow in the dark. And when you're playing night airsoft, you use these along with a special mock suppressor that has a high intensity bulb inside of it. That's basically like your flash on your camera. And every time it's got a little sensor, that same kind of technology that's used in chronos. So as soon as it senses a BB flying through in front of the sensor, it sets off the flash, and the flash charges up the glow in the dark on the BBs. And so you're getting this effect very much like shooting tracer rounds out of your airsoft gun. So that's one of the things you can do with airsoft fairly cheaply. And by the way, cheaply by that compared to, say, paintball. Like here we got 5,700 rounds, 15 bucks. So yeah, a lot cheaper than buying a box of 100 rounds of paintballs by a huge margin, which is one of the reasons why a lot of us older guys who used to play milsim paintball moved over to airsoft. That, and also the markers, the airsoft guns look much more realistic, and it's all about fashion. It's all about fashion. And by the way, they also carry camping gear, or at least camping food. You got to see your mountain house stuff over here, and dehydrated food, because some of the milsim guys like to do immersive milsims. That means going out on in airsoft games that are multi-day, overnight, and so they go out, do mock military missions, and so you have to, set up a little bivouac or whatever, and they essentially camp out. Or if you are going on a whole weekend long game, you may just want to camp out at the airsoft field. So they also sell supplies for that as well. Somebody says, I suspect actually would depend on consistent velocities. For the most part, the velocities of the airsoft guns are pretty consistent. Most guns are either propelled with a direct compressed gas from a cylinder, and essentially the same as you would with a paintball gun. So you're running off of a regulator that regulates the amount of air pressure that comes through and propels each of the BBs. Or the more popular way is using essentially a piston-driven system, where you have a pneumatic piston that is powered by a compressed spring, and that spring is compressed either manually, single shot wise. You're basically that's when you're running your bolt, you're compressing the spring, or the most popular way is battery powered. So there's a little motor that runs what they call the gearbox inside of the airsoft gun through a series of gears that ratchets the spring back on the piston. As the lower part has a ratchet and groove system, and as soon as it gets all the way back, it's a sort of a half toothed gear. So once it gets to a certain point, there's no more teeth, then the piston just lets loose, and it's the spring that creates the pressure. And so that spring compression is pretty consistent for the most part. And you can get depending on how fast of a motor and how fast of a or how powerful a battery, you can get 30 rounds per second or higher. Though my games are limited to 30 rounds per second, but most people are shooting these automatic airsoft rifles at a good pace, like 15 to 30 rounds per second. So yeah, you get hit by 30 BBs, and each of them feels like getting hit by a paper clip on a rubber band. One of them is not too bad. Two of them is annoying. 15 of them in 1 second is like, stop, I'm dead. So that's the reason. That's how airsoft works, really. Tim Mooney says, I used to spend a ton on paintball, then I bought a house. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why a lot of older guys, get into airsoft after, they're only because their teenage kids are into it. But yeah, it can be a bit of a money suck. Time suck as well. All right. So let me go back. Let's head back. Unless there's anything you guys. Oh, here's one interesting thing. Before I forget. Actually, two interesting things, and then we'll end it. We'll end it over on the throne that we have over here. So you can see here, this is the airsoft throne, or like Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne here. But I want to take you over to the airsoft museum that they have. And this is actually the lobby entrance, but they have tons of signature or specialized airsoft guns. Some of them autographed by celebrities. Some of them are one-off prototypes. Like they have a Terran Tactical licensed 2011 that's autographed by Keanu, and then we have a whole John Wick display over here. And a lot of TV and movie productions use airsoft guns as props for firearms because, one, you don't have to worry, you don't have to have a certified firearm prop master to use these. You do have to be safe with them, but once the battery is out or if they're not loaded up with compressed air, they can't fire. So you don't have to worry about any Alec Baldwin incidents while you're here. And if they've got anime-themed guns, they've got your Marvel display, and they do sell some. They did at one point sell an entire Iron Man costume here as well. And if you're into Halo or if you're into Overwatch, they have themed guns here as well. They have an entire section just for Star Wars over here. You can buy Star Wars figures and helmets, so they have these, they sell them on their online store as well. So that's cool. So this is your little tour of the EVIC Superstore. I'm going to head back over to the gaming room tables. And I'm going to post up a full, long tour of this soon on my travel channel. So be sure to catch that. Oh, like I said, we'll end this over the tour here over at the Airsoft Throne. I'm going to see if I can get this this tripod set up so you could see me on the Airsoft Throne. So there we go. Well, now I just realized I am not by my computer, so I can't do the giveaway from here. So I'm going to have to walk back over to the computer to do that. Oh, here we go. Here's my buddy Steve. He's doing his own live stream right now.
I was not right now.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, so you're going up?
Yeah, I'm going back up, and we're going to do the giveaways.
Oh,
Cheers.
okay. And then we do the thing.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
All right. I'm going to put you down over here. Then I'm going to switch back to my switch. There we go. Now we're back around for sure. So hopefully this was interesting enough that it was worth your time. And sorry again for the low res quality of the connection because of the. So we're going to be giving away these patches, and let's see how many people have put in a giveaway for 4 of these. All right, so here's the last clue here. In the name of the brand contest. In 1993, this German airgun brand bought Walther firearms. So there's a little bit of a clue earlier. It's an unintended early clue that was in the side chat here. Tim says phone was better. Okay, maybe I'll just do this all from the phone over here. But I don't know how I'm going to be doing that. Let's see if I can see if the phone. I wonder if I could do that. Let's see if I can. Oh, remove me. Okay. I don't know if the phone does it. Is it better? Okay. Well, let's do the giveaway here. And I'm going to load up the screen for the giveaway. So it's your last chance, everybody, to get your hashtag in. Oh, I should also mention that I'm giving away this LPVO on my website right now. So let me put up a link on the side chat here. Go to moondogindustries.com/contacts. Should be, there we go. So I put it into the side chat. And if you get your entries in before the end of the month, I'll be giving away this LPVO at the end of next month. Or sorry, the beginning of next month. So let me bring up the screen for today's giveaway. A little sidetrack here. Okay, we have 6 entries. So I'm actually going to bump this up to 5 so that there's a chance for more people to win these EVIC patches and a decal. So the first winner Abrasive Patriot. Congratulations. Okay. So next winner Hillbilly Up. American Hillbilly. Be sure to tune in to his live streams on Saturdays. That's 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, let's draw our third winner. Tim Mooney, congratulations. Okay, and our fourth winner, or is that 5? No, I think it's our fourth. Porsche Speedster, who used to live in Southern California, if I remember correctly. And our fifth and final winner is going to be Vadim. Congratulations, Vadim. All right. Now, while this updates on the screen here, hopefully you can hear me. It's still taking a little while for everything to reload. So hopefully you can hear me. I don't know what's going on with the lagginess of the screen, but hopefully you can see me talking onto camera right now. But it's trying to load up the final slides of the show here. Finally, okay. So I also wanted to mention that for all the winners of today's contest, all you have to do is send an email to me with the hashtag UMARX in that subject line and send it to my Gmail, which I'll be posting up here, the side chat. It's moondogairsoft@gmail.com. In that email, put in your name and address that you ship the patches to, and I'll be mailing those out. And also, I wanted to point you to a new feature that I have on the website, which is I'm calling the yard sale. And I'll be doing a fundraiser for the St. Anne Middle School class trip to DC. So my son's 8th grade class and the 7th grade class over at St. Anne's are going to DC next year. And we're raising money for their trip, as well as for the teachers, especially the teachers, and at the very least, the check-in luggage for the teachers, who are also the chaperones. So go to moondogindustries.com/yard sale. I think I have a link to that on here. If not, I'll just type it in. But go to that link, and I'll be posting up a new product every week. Yard sale. And you can sort of purchase this. Just make a donation to the fundraiser for the school for the amount. And the first person who sends me an email that you've made the donation will claim this. And if somebody makes a multiple purchases, you know what? Just email me before that and I'll send you my Zelle link or my Venmo, and then you can make the donation. That way we don't get 2 or 3 people making a donation at the same time. But if you're interested in picking this up, I've got a night vision camera that clamps onto your regular scope. And so you can use it like a night vision camera. Or you can do night hunting with it. So, and I'm donating it for sale at half the retail price. And this is the actual camera that I reviewed in my past Moondog reviews videos. But all the proceeds will be going to this school and students whose families can't afford to send them, and the teachers for their check-in luggage fees. And they'll be doing fundraisers throughout the year at the school. So if you happen to be in the San Francisco Bay Area, I'm sure they're going to be doing like car washes and other things over at the school. All right, so that's what we got going on. I want to thank everybody for joining me today and for this rather unusual show. And I invite you to check on the website next week. I'm going to be having a pre-recorded show because I'll be traveling that day, and I don't want a repeat of the same issues that I had where I was stuck in traffic and couldn't make my own live stream show. So I did a pre-recorded show with an interesting interview with Professor Martin Rendell in Germany, and he did a TEDx presentation on a toilet design that he created. So I'll include links to the TEDx video and my interview with him for next week. So be sure to tune in next week. It won't be a live show, but it'll certainly be an interesting show. So I want to thank everybody again for tuning in, and be sure to check my channels and to check my live streams every Wednesday. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. God bless. Moondog out.
Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.